Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Lines Forever. This is a 1v1 ladder game on Forbidden Pass. And we got Cyber mirror matchup in the top right in blue. It's Turin bar. And in the bottom left in the red is Vodka Stunno, also known as Mad Mozart. So I think we'll see 5 PGen second air. Is that 5 PGens? 4 PGens? And some tree reclaim. These trees are broken. I think they get burned from the warping. So, not a great use of this NG. Should move him over here, I guess. Or just send him down here as usual. No, wait, is this 4 PGen? Yeah, 4 PGen second air. Usually we see 5. That's what we see from Turin. These NGs down here microing quite a lot to make sure he gets all the trees. I don't know. He really needs to do that. It's gonna delay this max and hydro. It's the price you pay. He's already walking to the cliff expansion, whereas Mozart still using his build power on his ACU at home so he can expand with more engineers. We have a bomber coming in from Turin. Scouts the scout. That's out of range, so he's not gonna see it. Did Turin? No, Turin didn't spot this NG. Oh, he needs to micro. Oh no, that's bad. Not the best micro there, not the best targeting here either. Oh, he might get a lucky second kill though. Yep. Actually, let's put on the music. This bomber gets a nice kill. This bomber was okay, but it could have done a lot more. He definitely could have got this engineer. And you probably could have gotten more in the base as well. This NG is huge, and you can see they both are aiming for essentially the same NG. Because this expansion is very far away when you take into account you have to walk all the way up here. And it's supposed to be the one that you definitely get. I mean, this you don't get, this you probably don't get. These two are the ones you definitely need to make sure of. Let me just turn the sound down a little bit. Might be too loud. So we have a transport. Getting some NGs here and getting one NG here. I would actually rather drop a few more NGs here and rush a PD, then get the mexes. You just have to make sure you have mass in the bank when you drop, otherwise you've just wasted NGs. So Vakis denies this. He doesn't have an NG. Well, this NG should probably just walk up here and take some mexes. He doesn't really need the hydro that badly at the minute. He can send the next NG on to get the hydro. He has power but not really enough mass. So this map is very air heavy because the land, there's no direct routes really thanks to this lake in the middle. So you have to walk a long way to actually get anywhere. with your tanks. So hover tanks, Wagners, and hover arty and air are all very good here for raiding, getting transports with NGs, denying NGs with bombers. Ooh. That's where this bomber is headed anyway, but this factory will go up, so expansion is basically secured. Oh, that still hurts though. Oh no, this would be really sad. 5 NGs disappear into the water along with transport. That's a big loss. I think probably the drop would not have been successful anyway. So there were some tanks in the area. Here's another drop now from Turin. Again, a factory's here. What's on this transport? Just Mantis. Okay, it's not a bad idea to have an NG in here if you're gonna drop here, but it's spotted and units return to defend it, so that's another similar loss to this loss here, except there's the 5 wrecks actually landed, so he will get the reclaim from that. Turin, after walking across, does the common move of getting a PD to secure and then moving across to take this expansion with the ACU. Mozart is on his way to do that by the looks of it, but he is a bit slower about it. And we can see that Mozart has a huge air advantage. And so instead of making T2 air, he's just going to go for gestures. Lots of assist on this. He's also upgrading 2 mexes in his base, so he's stalling quite a bit. The gestures are forcing Turin to move towards the water. Now he turns his attention to the mexes, starts to raid. He does need to win back some map control because Turin has a hold of this and at least some hold on this. So he needs to take back map control because Turin isn't too far behind on eco, just slightly behind on T2 mexes. As Mozart is making 2 in his base and has 1. Turin is only making 1 and has 1 also. But it looks like Turin will secure this again. Up here, Mozart will take the expansion at the cost of some HP. And this factory is going to get to T2, but he really shouldn't have allowed that. So that's just going to mean T2 factory to reclaim at the end of this. Should have paused it and let it stay on T1 to leave more reclaim and not waste resources into upgrading it. T2 land now, and 2 T2 land support factories going up in the main base, so we're going to see a lot of T2 land coming from the base, probably moving down this way. It's a very long way to go all the way around here and support this arena. So I think we'll see a lot of pressure down here. We already see Mantis raiding here, but there's not enough here. Gestures can take out this T1A turret, and the NGs go down. But air is looking quite close now, and the gestures are getting sniped by what few inties Turin has. Is costing him inties though to take out these gestures, but he successfully snipes them. protect the mexes in this expansion. No engineers though, and no factories, so this is not going to be rebuilt very quickly. And of course, no chance of getting a drop here. With the air support over... Oh, here... Oh, we just see Mantis running into the base. That's a... It's just a bizarre move. I mean, he can go here. There's no factory here, so he could raid this. Okay, kill this Mex. Could try go here. With that many Mantis, he could kill this factory and this Mex, and, you know... There's a lot of damage to be done. There's not a lot of damage he can do in the base. When there's going to be rhinos coming out of that, or even Wagners there could have been. So the rhinos come out, get some kills. There's one dead T1 PGen and some dead NGs. It's a pretty nice mass gift for Mozart. T2 NGs coming out, so we should see T2 power being started. Also see a lot of out of fuel inties, and that can cost him air. Oh, you can see the micro here. He actually managed to get the out of fuel inties into the fight, so they're not completely useless. I mean, if Turin just fights where there aren't out of where the out of fuel inties aren't, then obviously they'll never reach the fight, and he should win it. But they can actually contribute if you fight on top of them. So I would hope to see some air staging. It's really criminally underused, but maybe we won't. Also, it's on the same hotkey as anti-air, if you're wondering. Here we have T1 fighting T2, and we all know how that's gonna go. A lot of rhinos here. So yeah, you can see all this T2 land is moving south. And Mantis reinforcing to the left. They are much faster, of course, than rhinos, so it's not so bad to have them moving all the way around here. And it looks like he'll just annihilate this expansion quite easily. Just some Medusa here, trying to do some damage. Yeah, we see a couple T2 support factories on the way. They're quite a lot slower than Turin's. Still a very even game at the minute. So we can see 5 T2 mexes for Turin, 4 for Mozart. There's a 5th. Air is looking not good for Mozart, I would say. There look to be maybe 25 inties for Turin. Okay, 27, and so about half that for Mozart. And although he did a good job raiding here, did also lose this expansion completely and left a lot of reclaim along here, which Turin is doing a good job picking up. Now we see Turin has decided, okay, I've killed this. What's the next target? Well, he only has rhinos, so I mean, if he had Wagners, he could aim for this. All of these things, but he's come for rhinos and he's walking into an ACU. If this was a lone ACU, he could kill it easily, but he does have some T2, T1 to support, and he has no radar as well, so he doesn't know how big this army supporting the ACU is. So he's in danger of just walking the majority of his T2 army into OCs. So he backs up. Mozart wants to get as many kills out of this as he can. They are bunching up quite heavily. Oh, that's a nice overcharge. Killed a couple of flaks, a couple of rhinos. Just have to be careful, he's taking a lot of damage now. But Turin is just gonna lose this army. And that's big. The only saving grace is that he doesn't leave it all in reclaim, because ACU overkills T2 so much that it destroys all the reclaim when it OCs. And now we see Turin decides to take the air fight. Very well placed flak, providing some damage, but I think it ultimately wasn't even needed. He wins air and has a huge air force now. 52. And Mozart is on 10. And no flak on this left side. On the right side also no flak. Okay. This is quite dangerous. Turin, you can see, has T2 air. Mozart should be able to see that. But Turin's units on the left, he just does not have as many. Only 6 rhinos. This expansion is just completely dead. Did manage to take this back, but it's not defended in any way. No tanks, no PD. Well, there is actually a tank here. It's a strange place to find a rhino. So no PD, no factory, no tanks, except this one perched on the cliff. So it gets raided again. It's a good drop. Oh. Corsairs come in and two-shot the pair of rhinos. I did miss a large fight here, which left Mozart with a nice amount of reclaim. If we look at reclaim totals, 8.3 for Turin, 6.5 for Mozart, but he's going to catch up thanks to this mass field. Perhaps he can even get some of this as well. This large army is, well, it's pretty scary looking. I mean, nice composition with rhinos and Medusa, but here we see this sends in the inties first, try and clear the air, and then the Corsairs appear to snipe the power. See here, 2 Corsairs did not manage to kill this T2 Pigeon. Third one arrives, finishes the job. And you can see in this first Pigeon, 2 Corsairs sufficed in killing it. We have a lot of tanks. Only 2 flaks and they're in the base. But it's going to be hard to stop these tanks. Even when they don't have anti-air, there's just, I mean, a half dozen T2 units here. That's just not going to be enough. Single flak in this army, it can be sniped by Corsairs, but it's difficult to do if you keep your army moving, as Mozart is doing. So you can but there it goes down. Really, one flak doesn't do so well versus Corsairs. 2 flaks does much better. 3 flaks is golden. Very hard to snipe all of them. Turin looks to be suiciding his air here. It's a really bad move. I mean, inties don't come cheap, and air control is vital on this map. You can see just how much these guys are putting into it. Don't see any move to T3 land. I think that's a mistake. Okay, yeah, here we go. Mozart decides it's time. Maybe he's worried because he does have far more tanks on this side. Maybe he's thinking that's what Turin's mass is going into a T3 factory, maybe, or maybe it just feels it's time. I think 23 minutes in is definitely a good time. A lot of people seem to forget to go T3 land on this map. I don't really understand it, but you see it come up very, very late. So we have lots of eco. T1 Mobile A, not really great for defending this position, but I guess it's better than nothing. 4 T2 mexes, another one here. 10 in total. Oh, this one is just so easy to kill. So is this one. I mean, I'm really surprised at the lack of Wagners in this game. They're just so hard to stop. Here we can see 8 T2 mexes. These two are upgrading. Don't see any more upgrading. Now, the AoE on these gunships allows them to just lock these factories from building anything. So he should have like one on each pretty much to deny anything coming out of this factory, because this could have been a flak coming out, but it's a rhino unfortunately for Mozart. Looks like he can come in and kill the gunships, but it's going to cost some inties, and it's ultimately not going to be enough to save this expansion. So we can see huge reclaim field here. This reclaim field has been taken by Turin, I believe, and he's now trying to reclaim this position. T3 land on the way. I wonder if he saw Mozart's first, or if he had that idea himself. Not sure if that was purely reactionary. Inti count's looking similar again, 41. Again, out of fuel inties. Means that he's at a bigger disadvantage than he should be. PD is down, it's time to move in and wipe this expansion. That's why you should actually have some engineers already just here so you can spam out more PDs as needed. He's gonna lose a lot here. 4 T2 mexes are gonna go down. He will probably end up leaving all of these T2 tanks in reclaim, but it's gonna take a while to actually clear them up and reclaim, get the reclaim and rebuild those mexes. Loyalists coming out. Obviously a good choice. Always a good choice, really. More or less. Unless you're versus Autumns, I guess they're not so good. Arabs, but early T3 on this map, you definitely want them because you can see this is the short way to attack, and he really doesn't have anything to fight down here unless he goes all the way down to the bottom, so he's gonna run across. Fight here, bricks would take forever to get across, and I don't think he wants to risk making some drops with bricks because doesn't really have good radar coverage, doesn't really know where Mozart's inties are at any time. Mozart is going for bricks. Bricks of course do have the advantage that they can just cross this pond. So okay, interesting. He's being quite careful with his ACU. Drops in a brick to support. Does he have? Yeah, so you can't see that much. He doesn't have much overflow. Oh, well, he just got a lot there. And he's getting a lot of reclaim. Where is that coming from? He's grabbing this Lovely T2 reclaim field. I see a Wagner moving across. You can actually kill positions correctly. You can kill every mechs and never enter the range of those PDs. Now he gets a good look at Turin's inties. Very important piece of info. So a nice radar to pick that up. You can see that intie count is quite even, though he probably has more. And then the loyalists appear in his top left expansion. So he will need to react. One brick is not a good response. It will just get crushed by those loyalists. And whoa, there's a lot of loyalists coming out. We have 2 T3 support factories in the base. A T3 mechs is completed in probably not the best position. I think he needs to get rid of this factory and get his storage down. And wow, frigate just killed a T2 transport. That hurts. Mozart realized he saw 3 loyalists and he's thinking, well, maybe I could take this with a brick, but a couple more arrived, so he doesn't drop it to the expansion. Drops it back here. And sees Torn going for an ACU upgrade. Surprised the Torn doesn't have Notify. Is that T3? I mean, he has T2, so I guess it has to be. You can see Torn is stalling power quite badly. Well, not so badly, I guess. Interesting to go for naval factory. Guess it gives him water vision, so he can see anything, any bricks that try to cross here. Gives him nice radar in a hard to kill package. 2k health is nothing to sniff at. And it's really very cheap at this stage. Looks like he's... okay. Yeah, this radar coverage is very nice. We see bricks being dropped. See Corsairs are revealed here. It's good info to have. And just watch how fast this brick dies. No chance. Huge inti clouds. So do we see further T3 mexes? I don't see them. Probably needs to get these to T2 first before he goes for that. Problem with these loyalists, they have no air support, and I don't think Torn is going to want to fight air in this side of the map. I mean, each inti is 40 mass, and you have like 100. That's a lot of reclaim. Oh, Torn also desperately needs some air staging. Please. Why don't people make air staging? These loyalists getting into the base, they're just gonna run past the bricks, and you don't really want to use Corsairs in your own base. Best thing for Torn to do is to, well, aim for power and then stand as close as you can to stuff that you want to die. Oh my god. Please. Please no. This T2 gen is a rip. This T3 Mex is not, thank fuck. And oh no, is he really gonna lose all 3 of these? Shouldn't. Oh my god. No. He was aiming at the wrong shit. He could definitely have killed this P-Gen. That's a bad mistake. I mean, if he kills this P-Gen, it's so much worse for Mozart. but he doesn't. That's a bad mistake. But still, huge damage, and you can see Mozart has no map control. So we can see loyalists simply raping. Turin, yeah, don't upgrade T2 without assist. Takes forever. But yeah, this game is truly over. Barring some snipe. You see Corsairs coming out. Oh, okay, T2 NG comes out. He doesn't actually have one in the base. So, oh, he fights air. Oh, it's a really bad engagement. Wow, is my game actually lagging from a T1 air fight? Ultimately irrelevant. He can't stop a T3. He can't snipe a T3 ACU. No matter how hard he wins air. I mean, he'd need so many Corsairs, and he just doesn't have build power. Doesn't have energy to pump them out. So a nice air win, but it's not going to save him. Not really sure what Mozart can do in this scenario. He's just had no map control for far too long. There's not much chance of winning it back. Turin should be making T3 mexes, in my opinion. And maybe even switch to bricks, supported with flax. Because as the bricks grow in number, well, he still just has too many loyalists. And even though he won air, Mozart is losing Corsairs to Inties. That's pretty bad. Can't afford to lose anything this stage. Oh no, please. Yeah. Needs to make another PGen and not repair this one. T3 support factory coming down. I mean, 3 SAMs, shields. ACU is as good as unsnipeable. So let's see how this ends. I wonder how you would snipe this ACU. Maybe you can make like 40 beetles and just run them in. Hard to kill all them. He has no PDs, no tanks to defend, so maybe. He's just gonna die to these loyalists, and Turin wins. So, interesting game. I mean, you can see just how important air is on this map. It's actually a map where you see a lot of snipes as you get trapped in the water or you're far from flak and stuff like that. But some went T2, T3, and Turin came out with the win. I think the loyalists just work better than bricks. I think that was the main issue here. GG.